Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Essence Janay, and as you guys can tell by the title, we are going to be doing a little bit of underpainting. Now, if you don't know what underpainting is or what it means, basically you're strategically applying your makeup in certain areas of your face instead of just kind of like piling everything on top of each other, leaving room for like cakiness, under eye creasing, maybe things are looking a little gray on your skin, and that's all due to just like stacking your makeup basically. So this method is a little bit more strategic, and basically you're placing each product right where you need it. Now, this isn't something that I've thought of or came up with. It's in fact something I saw on TikTok from a creator who I'll put on the screen. I'm not saying she made this up. This wasn't like created by her, but I did see her video and was inspired to try it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, if you guys like playing your makeup like I do and you like to try different trends, whether that be on yourself or watch somebody else do it, then this is definitely the video for you. So buckle up, grab your makeup brushes, matcha tea, water, whatever you're into, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into everything, I'm just going to state the obvious. I have finally cut my hair. I definitely vlogged the experience for you guys, so definitely check out my upcoming vlog, because I know that this video will definitely be out before that, so you guys get a little preview of the before, or not the before, the after. So yes, I did cut my hair. It feels so much more healthier now and just has a lot of bounce and stuff, and it's not stiff, and all those dead ends are gone. I really love myself with short hair. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I feel like, I mean, I already have that young appearance as it is, thank God, but sometimes I don't want to look like a 12-year-old kid, and I want to look a little bit more mature, and I feel like short hair does that for me. So I'm really happy with the length and everything. I just need to get my blonde back and I'll be all set. But let's get into this makeup, because I know that's what you guys are here for. So we are going to be starting with our base makeup, which is the whole purpose of the underpainting situation. Now, if time permits, I will be doing an eyeshadow look for you guys, but as of right now, we're going to work on the base. So to start, again, it was a TikTok influencer that I saw, and I decided, hey, I want to try that. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and I'm going to go based off of the steps that she provided in her 2-part TikTok that she had. I will also have her TikTok name down below. I don't know if I can like link the actual video or not. If I can, I will. If not, her name will be down there, because I do want to give her her credit. So she started with cream bronzer. She did say you can use a liquid or like one in more like a pot form, and normally I would use like either the Huda Beauty or the NARS that I have used previously, but you know, I decided I'm gonna go in with a concealer just like her. So I'm using this one from Milani. This is the Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer that you guys have seen me use a couple of times. So this one is in Warm Almond, number 170. Now, before I do this, I'm getting ahead of myself. First of all, back up. I need to clip my hair back. I don't know if these clips are going to do much, but you know, we'll see. So clip that back there, and then we need to prime. Girl, we got to do a couple of things. So first, I'm going to prime my skin. I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown Vitamin C Enriched Face Base. I actually have not used this in a good little minute. I want to say this is the same primer that she used, which made me think of it because it's been kind of sitting in my drawers. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on. Y'all, is jumping ahead of myself. I'm also gonna pull my mirror up. I'm sorry, but I feel like it was a little too far back for me, and I kind of need to see what I'm doing, especially because I've never done this before. So I'm gonna pull my brush. This is the e.l.f. 103 brush, and I'm gonna use that, but first let's apply the cream product. So cream bronzer is first, and basically you just dot this around your forehead where you would typically cream bronze or contour, and just a little on the cheek area. I'm not gonna go too far down when it comes to my cheeks. And then you also want to make sure you hit your lip area down here and your nose. Next, you want to take your brush and you want to make sure that you're tapping the product in. You don't want to over blend because you don't want it to be sheer. You still want to be able to like see it and stuff. So just tap it on, don't swipe or wipe, just tap. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Ooh, this is making me nervous. I've literally never done this before. I cannot recall. I don't want to overdo it. And then I'm gonna work this side the same way. Try not to drag the contour too far down because you don't want it to come all the way down here, or you guys can't see. You know, so just kind of just keeping it in this small little 1/3 of a space on my cheekbone. I have a small face, so. It's the underlip for me. Okay, so now that we have that pretty much blended in, but not, I tried not to like dissipate the product too much. Now we're gonna move into our next product, which she says to use a lightweight concealer. So I feel like Rare Beauty has a pretty lightweight concealer. So I'm gonna use this one in 320W. And what you wanna do with this product particularly, I'm actually going to place it on the back of my hand because I feel like I could be a little bit more precise with the application and stuff by doing that. So I'm going to use my brush. This is just a Morphe M124, and I'm just going to strategically place it underneath, kind of like to clean up, and where you would typically kind of like highlight, or the natural highlights of your face, if you will. So there, a little bit on the chin, and I'm also going to go on my forehead. She did say not to do your under eye. You don't want to do your under eye just yet. You kind of save that for last. But I am going to take this down the bridge of my nose. I will say she did not put any concealer there at any part of her video, but maybe because it's TikTok and it's a short form video, certain things she kind of like didn't, you know, put into play. She kind of cut it out, but it would make sense to put concealer there. So then I'm just taking another brush and I'm just going to use that just to press it in, still with the pressing motion, no swiping, because you want your product to kind of like stay in place. And you see how it just like cleaned up that bronzer that we put on previously, and you just want to do that for all the areas that you put your concealer. You now want to apply your foundation of choice. I'm going to use this one from Pat McGrath today, and I am using the shade medium 15. Yeah, medium 15. And I'm going to shake it first because it's pretty liquidy. I am going to put it on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take another brush just to place this. Again, you want to place the product where you need it, so in between the dark and the light shades, she said. So here, you don't want to go underneath your eye, so I'm going to go lightly above that, what do you call that, that contour, and I'm going to place it down here, just in all the in-between spaces. Using my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, I'm going to press this into the skin. Again, you want to refrain from putting anything underneath your eyes. You want to kind of leave that area open. Especially if you suffer from, or not suffer, but you know, if you guys have under eye creasing and stuff, it could be hereditary, but it also could be because you're using too much product. I love how I talk about this like I've been doing this forever. No, girl, this is your first time. Honestly, I don't even think you can kind of tell that I don't have anything underneath my eyes, which is pretty cool. I really can't tell that. I can tell a little bit, you know, especially like right here in the inner corner parts of my eye. But for the most part, when you look at me, you don't really notice that I don't have anything underneath my eyes. I like that. Okay, but we are going to put something there. So She then goes in and says to use two different concealers, a darker and a lighter one. And I think I did bring out three different ones. So we used the Rare Beauty 320W on the highlights of our face, if you will. I have a lighter one in 310. I was honestly scared to go in with that on my face. And then I also have my NARS in Praline, which is medium 3. I think I want to take the NARS and I'm going to place NARS. I'm going to place NARS at the very inner part of the eye. So I'm first going to take the Rare Beauty 320 again. Let me take that one. And this one is going to go underneath your eyes, but you have to be careful. You want to make sure you're placing it at the lowest part of your under eye. Then you want to take your lighter concealer, and that's where you want to place this one right on top of that one. Like at the top, closer to your under eye area. Not too much though. You want to use a light hand because the NARS wand is so thin and small. I just applied it directly, but if it were this one or something like that, I would definitely put it on the back of my hand and use a brush. And then you want to go in with your concealer brush and you want to start tapping the product in. So what this is supposed to do is create like an ombre effect underneath your eyes. You have a darker concealer towards the bottom to kind of better blend in with the foundation. And then you have your brightening concealer, which of course is going to help to brighten those under eyes. But you don't need like, you get an even blend. You know what I mean? She calls it like an ombre effect. I don't know if I said that. Well, we're just going to tap this in. And just take your time with it. Do not feel like you need to rush. I'm going to use my little elf brush that I like to use. You're literally using nothing but tapping motions when doing this. And depending on the concealer that you're using, you know, it might take longer for some than it will for others. And of course, you can go on top of this with your sponge just to get a little further up into the crease and corners. You know, whatever works for you to blend out your makeup. There's no rules, as I always say, even though I'm following essentially the advice of someone else. I could do this however I wanted to, you know? But what's the fun in that? I am taking whatever's left on my elf brush and I am tapping it on my lids. I know she took her lighter concealer shade, but for me personally, just whatever's left is all I'm gonna do, just to create some type of coverage up there. I'm not gonna be doing an eyeshadow look today, but trust me, the eyeshadow looks will be back. But today we're not gonna do that. I mean, I'll do a little something, but nothing crazy. So the next step is to take a bronzer, a powder bronzer. And I have my ABH bronzer in Saddle that I'm gonna use. She did use a powder foundation that was like of a bronzer shade, which she did suggest. And it kind of makes sense considering we didn't put foundation, you know, anywhere on the cream contour bronzer, however you look at it. But I am gonna actually take a powder and I'm gonna take my little brush. You just wanna swirl into the product and you just want to tap on top of the previous that you placed. You don't want to rub or swipe because you don't want to disturb anything. You still want things to kind of remain where they are. And then when it comes to my cheekbones, again, just making sure you're not going too far down. You can like lightly buff it a little bit if you wanted to. But again, mostly just tapping. Now, one thing I did not see her do, again, it's a short form video, so I don't really know. I'm just gonna guess this part, but she really didn't too much do anything with her nose, like contour it or anything like that. But I like a little something on my nose. It don't have to be like nothing drastic, but I like a little something. So I'm just gonna run the brush of the bronzer down my nose just to give it a little something, you know? Because we did put that cream like contour on our nose. So it only makes sense to kind of like add it back with the powder, right? I think that's good. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to overdo it. I think that's good. That's good? Yeah, that's good. Okay, now we can move into setting the face. So she does set the face at this point, and for me it's not weird because you guys know I love using specifically the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. I don't know why I had to think about that, but I love using that throughout my makeup routine. I've been saying for the longest, it really helps your makeup stay locked in place for a long time. And ever since I used this one in my other video, I love this stuff. So between the hyaluronic acid from ColourPop, their setting mist, and this one from Item, obsessed. So we're gonna take this one and we're gonna spray our face. You're gonna make sure you get it nice and wet, essentially. And you're gonna let that sit. You literally want to let this dry before you put any product on. It's something she stresses in her video, something I highly agree with. And again, I just love this step of it all because for me, I feel like outside of like priming your skin to like help with longevity of the makeup, this is the important part to me, this right here. So let's let that dry. Now that my face is dry, and yes, it does have a little bit of like a glowiness to it because that spray, it really gives your skin that like glow from within type of look while also setting and locking your makeup in place. So that's why we're looking a little dewy-ish, if you will. But now we're gonna take some loose powder. I'm gonna actually be mixing two. I'm gonna use both from Laura Mercier, the translucent honey and a little bit of the translucent. I'm gonna mix them together just because I feel like sometimes honey can be a little too much when it comes to my under eye area. I still think it's a really pretty powder, but I like to mix the two. And I'm gonna take a little bit of that on a little puff here. So I have this little beauty blender puff thing, and I'm gonna dip it into the product. And then you want to make sure that your under eye is blended out. I don't really feel like I have creases underneath there, but just for the sake of the video, I will just tap on top. You can go on top with a sponge, whatever you prefer. And then you're going to take whatever you're going to use for your powder and apply it to your under eye. Cannot tell you guys the last time I used loose powder underneath my eyes. I'm also setting all the places that I highlighted. So my chin, and I'm also going to get my cheekbone area or whatever. I haven't done that in forever. I don't even know the last time I did that. But I'm just going to drag it down ever so slightly. So like that, I think that's enough powder. So she used the same powder to kind of like set her entire face because it was translucent. And although these are translucent powders, I am actually going to go in with a pressed powder. I'm going to use the, what is this, Charlotte Tilbury. This right here. Love, love, love. Normally I would use this underneath my eyes, to be honest. I was going to, but then I was like, I mean, I really want to kind of do what she did. So that's why I pulled out the loose powder. Plus I haven't used the loose powder in forever, so it's kind of nice just to see what that looks like again. So I'm just pressing this on my skin everywhere, basically to set my entire face, and also wiping off any excess powder that I have from the loose powder. So we're pretty much almost done. She did apply a little bit of blush at this point, so I'm using this one from Milani in Luminoso, basically a cult fave, but definitely very like fall appropriate. So I'm gonna use some of this, and I'm just gonna pop this on my cheeks just to kind of bring everything together, you know. And I'm still pressing, by the way. I'm not swiping or anything. I'm still using a pressing motion, and I'm coming up here to my temple as I like to do with blush these days, and I'm gonna pop a little bit on my nose just for a little a little flusher color because we like that. But she's cute. So that's all of that, and now you could do your eyeshadow and, you know, put on some lashes or whatever. I'm debating if I'm gonna put like lashes on because I know I want to do like my false extension lashes a little bit later. Oh, I want to apply some highlight, so let's do that really quickly. I'm gonna use this one from Urban Decay. The palette is pretty much falling apart, but this is an old palette. I've had this, I don't even know how long, but we're still gonna use it for highlight. So I'm gonna take some of Side Piece because that's like the darker, more golden highlight, and I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this. Still very beautiful and glowy. And I'm also gonna put a little bit up here on my Cupid's bow. Alright, you guys, so that's basically underpainting for you, and I have to say I'm a real big fan. I feel like my skin feels like it can breathe. It feels lightweight. I don't feel like I have a whole bunch of product caked up on me, and I was still able to use all the products that I love using, you know, every time I want to like really do my makeup. So that was really nice, and I don't think this will be the last time I do this method. It's not as like long, you know, and thought out as you think it is. It's really just to the point, you know. I love it. It gives my face somewhat of a different look. Let me know what you think down below. Now I'm going to finish this all off with probably a little bit of shadow and some mascara and potentially some lashes. I'll let you guys watch that, and then we can officially, you know, close out the video. So let's roll the B-roll. Is it B-roll? Let's just roll the footage. Okay, so this is the look finished and complete. I did add a little bit of shadow. I even went as far as put on some lashes. I did use an old pair of lashes, and in case you guys are wondering, it is from Unscripted in the style Level Up, and anybody who's been around my channel for a while knows that this is my favorite pair from this brand that I've purchased. I just don't know the link for them. I bought them so long ago, but I will leave the name and the brand name, like the style and the brand name, down in the description for you guys if you guys want to, you know, do your research and try to figure out if you guys can find them or not if you are into them. But I'm definitely into them, and I love them. I think they look really nice on my eyes. It suits my eye shape, and it also complements this look that I feel is just so beautiful. Let me know down below what you guys think. Let me know what you think, most importantly, about the underpainting and how are we feeling about that. For me personally, I feel like it's very doable. It's nothing that requires like brain science to try and figure out and do. Anybody can kind of accomplish this, whether it's your first time doing makeup or, you know, you've been doing it for a long time. I feel like, you know, the method serves its purpose, and it's very lightweight. Like, I really truly feel like I don't have anything on my skin, and I don't know if that's because of the method itself or if it's because of the products that I use. But either way, that's how I'm feeling. Of course, let me know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see many more like it, I will have a playlist linked at the end of this video. But also make sure you guys stay locked into my channel for more content to come. It's almost the holiday season, which means Vlogmas. So if you like my vlogs as well, definitely look forward to that. I really don't have anything else to say other than I love you guys so much. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully I'll see each and every one of you in my next upload.